Sally the Camel Visits the Pyramids, written and read by Dana Van Wright. Sally the Camel had lived her whole life in Egypt. The land of the sand was her home. It was always sunny and warm, and she had lots of interesting things to do and see. But surprisingly, she had never been to visit the Great Pyramids of Giza. Her friends had always talked about them. Sally, they are just so amazing. They have been there for thousands of years and were built in the time of the pharaohs who once ruled this land. You really should go and see them. Sally always told her friends and herself, I will, one day. That day finally came. She woke up early as the sun was rising over the desert, quickly warming the cool night sands. Today is the day I will see the pyramids, she shouted. Her friends nearby heard her shout and came to say good morning and wish her safe travels. As she began her adventure, she saw the world begin its day too. There were people getting organized for the day ahead. For most, this meant getting ready for work. She passed two men in their galabeas, waiting for their bus to head into the city to work. They shouted, Yalla, Sally. She smiled back at them as she knew this was a friendly way of saying, let's go, in Egyptian. As she walked on, she stopped to look at an interestingly decorated tractor. She had seen many like this before, but this one seemed special, as it was her special day to see the pyramids. She smiled to herself and continued on her journey. After a time, she saw a familiar face. It was Dina the donkey. She was working hard, pulling her crops with her farmer friend, just as she did every day. They said good morning to one another as they passed each other and promised to chat more once the day's responsibilities were through. She continued on through the hot desert for what seemed like a really long time. When she saw the Nile, she knew she was getting closer. She stopped for a drink and a short rest under a date palm tree and thought to herself, what a wonderful adventure! Seeing new things and friendly faces is such a lovely way to enjoy the day. Once she had felt rested, her excitement quickly grew as she knew she was nearly at her destination. She would finally be able to say that she had been to and seen the famous pyramids that she had heard so much about from her friends. The bustling streets of Cairo were loud and crowded, with people eating, shopping, walking, and driving all manner of vehicles. As she rounded a market corner, she saw a golden brown, triangular shape off in the distance. As she drew closer, she of course realized that these were the Great Pyramids. She spent several hours exploring their majesty and meeting all the people from around the world who were doing the same thing as she. People took pictures with her, which she loved, as she always enjoys meeting new people. She enjoyed learning all about how the pyramids were built and what they were used for all those years ago. When she returned home that night, before bed, she enjoyed thinking about her day. It had been such a magical experience. It is beautiful to know that there are so many people out there that are hardworking, friendly, and love to travel just like her. Seeing new things, even if they're in your own backyard, is a wonderful way to spend a day. The end.